Hello, hello. Welcome back to Sparkle Boot Styling, where I teach y'all how to style your favorite line dances. Today we're going to go over Off the Chain, which is a 64 count, 2-wall, phrased, intermediate, advanced line dance. If y'all don't know this dance already, I've got tutorials linked in the description below, so you can go learn the steps and then come back and learn how to style it. Let's get into it. All right, starting with section A. So for this first 8 count, you've got 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. On this very first step, you can go ahead and just throw in a body roll. So you're going to step, forward, body roll, hitch. So it's step, forward, body roll, hitch. As you can see, I've got my arms going up because I think that looks cool with the body roll, but you can also do some other things. You can do some rodeo arms and whip your arms above your head as you do those trots. You can also put your left arm up in the air and your right arm down and then switch them as you go. Or you can put your hands on your hips and shimmy your shoulders. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. In terms of legs, you can also think about how high this knee is going as you're stepping. So you can start with a small, medium, large into the box step. Or you can go backwards and you can go large, medium, small. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. For this next part on the box step, you can add a backwards turn on your third step. So you're going to cross your right, step out left, plant your right, and then you're going to turn over your left shoulder backwards to plant your left again. And 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, for this next 8 count, you would be facing this direction at this point after that box step. I'm going to turn towards you so you can see what's happening. You've got toe on 1, 2, 3, 4, swoop 5, 6, 7, 8. On those toe taps, instead of just doing basic toes, you can do some heel grinds instead. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. You can also do kicks, which are low kicks, 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can go as high as you want to with those. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now on these hip swoops, you can kind of show off your personality here. Obviously, you have options for what you can do with your arms. You can put them on your hips, you can put them a little further back if you want to, you can put them above your head, or you can even play around with doing one of each as you go. In terms of some options for your hips, you can be as sassy or just silly as you want. For the sassier side of things, you can kind of sit a bit lower into this. So as you turn this way, you're going to bend your knees and kind of sit into it, and keep your knees bent as you swoop the other way. You can also kind of turn it into a body roll movement, and you can body roll back to sit into this, and then swoop it over. Some arm pairings that go nicely with that is you go one arm up here, then the other arm up here. You could also simplify this movement, and instead of sitting all the way down into it, you can just turn, pop this heel. 5, 6, 7, 8. If neither of those are quite your personality, you can also play more with your shoulders. So it can look like 5, 6, 7, 8. Now as I'm coming out of this 8 count, I like to flick my leg up, partly because I think it looks cool and partly because it reminds me to get my weight on this leg before I step into the next 8 count. Now the third 8 count, remember you're still facing this wall at this point. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now the first option for styling on this is I want you to think about the direction your hips are going. Your goal is to get your hips moving side to side like this, while your head is still facing forward in that direction. So you're going to step out on your right, you're going to cross behind with your left, turn your hips, keep your head facing forward. You're going to step out with your right, turn your hips, cross, step out, touch. With counts, that looks like 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Second option for this is you can throw it a turn. So you're going to step out, cross behind, triple turn, tap. That's 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Make sure you're keeping track of your weight as you're doing this, because when you do that as fast as the music is, you're going to want to be thrown this direction, but you have to stay just on top of this leg to bounce back into that next turn. So you've just touched on 4. Now on that turn, most of the styling is going to come from your leg. So your 3 options for this leg are going to be here, here, or here. So take that first step on your left, step forward on your right, start that turn. If you want to do one of the first 2 options, you'll just bring your leg to where it needs to be to turn around. But if you want to do that leg sweep, you're going to step left, right, and right here. Sweep your leg all the way back and around. Let me show you what that leg sweep looks like up to speed. And 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can also jump as you turn. And 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As you do any of those turns, of course, think about what your arms are doing. You're going to have them up, to the side, one of each. Finally, this is another good place to throw in a hair whip. So you take that first step, left, right, whip your head around here, turn, forward. And 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, fourth and final 8 count of section A. You've got pivot, pivot, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pivot turns are probably the easiest place to throw in hair whips, so as I was talking about with that turn, you can do that same hair whip move. If you don't want to do that, just throw in some arm styling, swoop around your head, diagonal. You can do some rodeo arms, and then just put them on your hips. And then at the end of that 8 count, you've got that funky box step choreographed in, which you can put a spin on, pun intended. So you'll start that box step, you step forward to right, left. Here, you're going to plant your right foot, spin around backwards. Kind of the same as what we did at the beginning of the A section. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For that A section, there are certain lyrics that get attached with certain styling moves. A lot of times the lyrics will be saying something like, I want to see it. So you can have your hand above your head, you can put some goggles on, you can kind of like turn your head to your side to look at your friends as you're dancing, or like give them eyes, like I want to see it. Second, on that same move, there's another part where he says something like Michael Jackson, hee hee. On that hee hee, instead of doing the second toe tap, you'll pop up on both of your toes. Whatever Michael Jackson move you want to do, I like throwing in like I'm holding a hat as well. So that'll be on a 5, 6, 7, call me Michael Jackson, hee hee. There's also another point where the lyric is, and I'm basking in these. Later, he says, all 31 flavors keep calling. This is a play on the ice cream shop, Baskin Robbins, which has 31 flavors of ice cream available. So while he says that, have your hand up and pretend you're eating ice cream. 5, 6, 7, and I'm basking in these, all 31 flavors keep calling. And then we've got another part of the song where he says, love when I tell her drop it. That happens on one of the and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what that's going to look like is you'll go and 4, turn, turn, drop, and then come back up for your pivot turns. Love when I tell her drop it. There's 2 more that happen in the part of the song where he's speaking in Spanish. The first is he says, salta loco. This again happens on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, salta lo. Give it a jump. After you jump, you go into the step, cross and touch. He says, mami mueve los cocos. So you're gonna step, step, as you turn, give it a little shake. I just think that's a funny little move to throw in for my other dancers who speak Spanish. Okay, for the B section, on the first 8 count, you've got kick and touch, sailor step, sailor step. On those kick and touches, you can play with high kicks and low lunges. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Basically, just get into it. Then often on those sailor steps, I'll put one arm up and then one arm up, which blends nicely into the next part. 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. Now you've got those half turns over your left shoulder. What I was talking about with those arms is you can push them down your body as you go and make it really sultry. As you turn, on this first step, you have your arms up. You're going to bring them down to your head. Second step, bring it down to your hips. But don't worry if sultry isn't your style, there's always another option. You can go for an easy paddle turn instead. You can also utilize those shoulders again as you do that paddle turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can also drop and bounce. 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is also another good place to add in some hair whips. You can do it on the first step or the second. 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Also, feel free to do a full and a half turn instead of just that half turn. 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now, in the case when you do the full B section, you've got that second set of sailor steps and the paddle turn around. And then you've got your hip shake, step, paddle, hip shake, step, turn. I literally do so many different things with these turns and step outs. Starting with the turns, you can do a lot of those same moves as we were talking about before on those previous turns. You can throw your hips into it, you can bounce around, you can shimmy your shoulders. But I like to throw in my favorite crazy move, which is the sprinkler. Put your hand on your head, grab your knee, and pump it, pump it. On the step outs, you can of course shoulder roll. You can do some body rolls. You can turn completely to the side and go low and pretend to surf it out. Or if you're someone who likes to throw it back either seriously or sarcastically, step out and do a little pop, pop. 1, 2, 3, 4 step, throw it right here, together. All right, last but not least, we've got that third C section. It starts out with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Start by styling your arms on those turns, and then here you can hit whatever pose you want. You can do both arms up, you can hitch, Just make sure your weight stays on this left leg so you can go back into the turn on the other side. Alternatively, you can throw in a double spin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can also put hair whips in there again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you've got jump out, cross, turn, and 5, 6, 7, 8. Clearly, this is a very easy place to style up those body rolls, make them really exaggerated. You can also just shake your hips and your shoulders instead. You can have your little pop star moment, or you can just see what comes out in the moment, because by this point in the dance, you're usually pretty hyped up already. Then you've got your 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8. Instead of just doing the chest pops, you can do a body roll or shake your shoulders instead. And then finally, we've got the pick it up, drop it down, look back. So you'll go stomp, stomp, drop it down can mean whatever you want it to. You can either literally drop it down, you can do a hair flip, a little bend and snap moment. And then on that look back, I like to look over my shoulder and give the person behind me a little wave. That wave happens on the part where you hear little bells in the music. I also see people shimmy their shoulders on those bells. So it's did-ding or did-ding. All right, now I'm gonna run through the whole dance. I'm just gonna do A, B, then C, so you can see how everything fits together and you can decide which moves you wanna add into your own dancing. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. B section. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And last but not least, C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, and 3 and 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thanks so much for styling with me today. As always, drop a like and a comment. And if you have any questions about any moves that I did, put those in the comments below. If you haven't seen my other styling lessons that I've posted so far, go check those out. And also check out my styling dictionary series, which just breaks down some of the individual moves that I'm putting into these line dances. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, stay stylish.